Welcome back to this space. Let's discuss Oloture the journey. I think we waited so long for this, only to be given what we are given. Is it good enough? Is it bad? Let us have that conversation. Oloture is produced by Abudu and written by Kenneth, Gyang.
Oloture the Journey tells the story of a young journalist who is out to expose corruption as she works undercover. On this journey, she fights for her life as she forges paths to Europe. This tells the sad realities of those who use this route to get to Europe and the modern day slavery that exists.
Yeah, so let's discuss the performances of this cast on this limited series. So it's a three parts or three episode series. I think that would be a better way to describe it. And let us start with Sharon Ooja, who played the lead cast. So Sharon Ooja is known as Oloture or A, and her performance is good. I think so. I think her performance is good, and she tells the story of this journalist who is struggling to really get way. And I think one thing, I don't want to go into the conversation about what our story seems to be. I just want to do that later. I don't want to discuss our performance here. And I think our performance is good. I really love the fact that she was able to bring out that emotion, the emotions that will really make you feel the pain of someone who is on such sad journey. Yeah. But the thing here is, why is she on that journey? Like, this film just left me asking a whole lot of questions. Moving on to the next is Beverly Osu, who played Beju. Beverly Osu from the previous is it a prequel? I'll call it from the previous one, the 2019 Oloture. Seemed to be that character which we all love her performance because she did great. You know, from the previous one, Beverly Osu did not even have a line. It was just a facial expression, it was just a reaction, and all of that we get to see. And she acted those things well, and it was so surprising that we see that a good actress like Beverly Osu got to be on a film, and she didn't even make a sound. It was just her reacting with her face. You know, those emotions and those things we could see on her face tell her story in the very first part. But yes, she is now really taking a very lead role and all of that. Her performance, I think it is fine for me. It is fine for me. The next person on my list is Omoni Oboli. Omoni Oboli is a good actress. Moving on to the next is Amarachukwu Onoh, who played Andrew. So this guy, I felt like I'm seeing him for the very first time until after seeing the movie. Then I was on socials on Instagram. Then I got to see his Instagram page, and I realized I have seen him before in Showmax limited series known as DK, and his performance there was superb. The fact that this guy is an Igbo guy and is able to pull up a Ghanaian accent for us, I love it for him. And this guy has been in Nollywood for a while. Like, he has been in Nollywood for a while. I haven't checked his Instagram. Like, oh, I think you really need to come forward. We should see you more. He did good. Then Stan Inze performance. I think it's just Stan Inze doing his work as an actor. I don't have so much to say. Ikechukwu Onunaku. He plays Chooks, and we know how Chooks is this crazy villain who really will I say who really victimize ladies, and he's just this oppressor, and he utilizes this lady for prostitution, and he earns from them. You know one thing about I think I also have issue with this guy's story in this film, but this actor performing this character or having to do this, I think he did a great job. Yes, that is it. Moving on to the next is Beauty, and she's Bukola Oladipupo. She was able to escape from being trafficked to Europe. My question is, why did they really bring this lady story? Because I feel like there was no development. I think what I'm resisting not to discuss, I'm already discussing it here. Let me discuss her performance. What does her performance seem to be like? I don't really find myself connected with her story. I was so angry a lot of time I see her on screen because there was no development to her story. So that does not really make me see anything good in her performance. But away from my sentiments, I think she did good as an actress. Away from that, the next person is Daniel Etim Effiong, and he is known as Tony. I think Daniel Etim Effiong here, I think I will not really say, I think I'll just say he did what he has to do. He did what he has to do. Yeah, so that's that. Then Iwara, Femi, his performance not bad. Iwara is good. Then let us move to the good, or let me start with the bad, or let me say the questions I have to ask. I don't know because after watching this film, I find myself in a situation like, why? Why do we have this film? You know, one thing, after the very first one was released, there was this conversation because there was a lot of time when I had conversation about this movie. I really enjoyed Oloture, the very first one. I enjoyed it. And when I have conversation with people, they are always like, oh, that film is rubbish, it is trash because of the way it ended. A lot of people do not really like the fact that Olotue was trafficked. You get a lot of people feel like she put in a lot of energy into doing all of that work, and it's just like it's when she was not able to achieve it. And for me, my defense then was like, probably they're just telling a reality. They're just trying to make it known that it's not every time we have good ending. It's not every time when people really put in work into doing something great, they really get to have that result. Sometimes they might even be swallowed while they are trying to do something very impactful because of how corruption has eaten deep into has eaten deep into the Nigerian society. So that has always been my defense. And I feel like okay, they just want to let people know that people can also like while you're trying to save people, you can also be victim of circumstances. And I feel like that is good enough. Until they feel like they need to bring this one. And after seeing this, I was like, why? This did not open up them to really get people to really understand okay, it ended there and this is saving them. This second season is not saving them from this conversation about the film being bad because of the way it ended. And it just really make those people who feel like the very first one was bad to have more reason to really to realize that Oloture is not a good movie because this second series. Another question is why is it a series? Why? Because the 3 episodes is not even up to 2 hours. Like I think it's around 35 minutes. So like why do you have to make it series? They should have just come and tell us this is a part 2. Finish. Most people do series. I just really find it very annoying. Very, very annoying. I said what I said, and that's a period. So I think I was discussing something about, and also the development here too. It just seemed to be like a, a story told in circle. I do not really see progression. At the point you feel like, okay, maybe the story is progressing, but you keep seeing them going back. Let me go to the story, the beauty story here. I feel like probably should have just let Beauty story slide and let her be. Let her be like she has escaped and all of that. Why will you have to experience all of that? Then you still go back to when you go back to where you were almost killed. And going back there just really put her in a more miserable situation because she could be found by those who she escaped from. Yes, that's it. She could be found. Alero used to go to that lady's that place where they live. I can't remember Sandra's house to recruit women who she traffic, you understand? So why is she going back there when she knows she could be found and you're someone whom they were supposed to traffic and be able to escape, be able to find a way out. Like the story left me asking a lot of questions. I was like, why? Why this? Why that? So I think another thing again I have issue is that the Blossom story too. The guy, the editor is dead. And I feel like that really turned out to be a very big issue for them because I feel like if probably this editor is still alive and maybe we're getting to see the connection between what's her name the Olotūré character and this editor, probably we might get to see, okay, probably maybe there's more investigation being done, or there is a way out. She has someone who she can reach out to, and she can always find her way back to Nigeria, or probably get herself out of that calamity. But as the story goes on, we're seeing her getting into more danger. And for me, it's not suiting to watch. It is not suiting to watch at all. One thing that only kind of worked out for me for this story. I know they did great with this, probably like the production, filming, the deserts, all of those things really look good, very realistic, and all of that. But I think the very important thing is their story. And if I don't think if your story is not good enough, regardless of the great technicalities that come with creating that story, if you do not have good plots, I don't think all of those efforts that is put into doing that will really show. So that is that. That is one thing that really makes this work so well. This is all I'll be discussing for Oloture the journey. Bye.